Hey, welcome everyone. We are talking about money. We're talking about how to achieve financial success, how to create and maintain good, wealthy financial habits. A good principle of financial success is to think ahead and prepare for things in the future that you know you are going to need to pay for, expenses that are going to come up in the future, and to come up with a plan on how you're going to pay for those. Um, when you don't prepare or have a plan for future expenses, what happens is when they come up, what do people have to do if they're not prepared? They go into debt. They take money off their home in a cash out refinance or open a second mortgage. They rack up credit card debt, take out other loans. So, a lot of my videos are about creating a plan for a specific future expense. What I'm going to talk to you today about is how we prepare to help support our children. Okay, support them through college and through other major decisions that they have to make as they enter adulthood. Now, it's a personal goal of mine to be able to help support and put my kids through college. I hope they decide to go through college. If not, that's okay. But that's something that I want to be able to do. And if parents, if you have similar goals and want to be able to put money aside to support your children, then this is a great plan for you to follow. This is good for aunts and uncles that may have nieces and nephews you want to put some money aside for, or for grandparents. Some parents may disagree with paying for your kids' college or helping pay for college, and I understand that train of thought. Some parents may think kids are better off working their way through college and paying that on their own, or taking out student loans and doing it that way. And that's fine. I'm not going to get into the differences there. Again, this is just a goal that I have, and I think many parents have. So let me show you the plan that I've set up. Okay, let's cut right to it. I have two kids, Layla and Milo. Now, what I've done is I have set up two accounts for each kid. Okay? So under Layla and Milo, I've got two different accounts set up. The first one is a 529 plan or 529 account. The second one is just a regular savings. So pretty much any bank or credit union is going to have an option to set up a kid's account, or they often call them a minor account. So again, under Milo, I've got the 529 and a regular savings. Now, why two accounts for each kid? Let me explain that by first telling you about the 529 plan or the 529 account. What that is it's a special account under Internal Revenue Code Section 529 that allows you to put money aside specifically for the costs associated with a higher education. It doesn't have to just be tuition, so it can be tuition, it can be room and board, books, meals, anything really that has to do with putting a child through college and the many costs that come with that. So the 529 is a great plan. It's a great account, and you need to go set one up for each of your kids if this is a goal of yours. Now, the 529 plan gets special tax treatment under that Internal Revenue Code. The way it works is similar to a retirement account, a 401k or an IRA if you have those. The special tax treatment within those accounts, within a 529, is that they can be invested and you can grow your money tax-free. So as you pump money into a 529, that money is going to be invested. It's going to grow over time, and you don't have to pay taxes on that growth. Now, in and of itself, in any particular year, that might not make a huge difference, but over the course of, say, 18 years, if you start when your kid is born, that can make a big difference, and that's going to mean more money in the account, more money in your pocket, when it's time to tap into that and help pay for college. And that's how their retirement accounts work as well. As you prepare for retirement, you do not have to pay any taxes on your investment growth in that account. With a regular account, so like these accounts, you actually do have to pay taxes on the interest you earn or the growth that you have inside that account. So that's the big difference. Now, why 2 accounts for each kid? Let's take a scenario where my daughter Layla turns 18 and decides not to go to college. She falls in love, gets married, and wants to start a family. Okay, that's great. But I've got now money set aside in a regular savings that I can use to help pay for a wedding. Maybe I can use that to help them get into their first new home, or whatever things that come up other than college. I've got some funds there that I'm prepared to be able to help with. So what you want to do is sit down, look at your budget, and figure out what amount you can afford per month to put aside for your kids. Okay, so let's take an example. I sit down, I look at my budget and say, okay, I can put $200 aside for my children each month, and that comfortably fits into my budget. So I would put $100 into each child per month, $100 into Milo's name, $100 into Layla's name. And the way I split up that $100 is I do about 65% of that into the 529 and about 35% of that into the regular savings. And that's done automatically. Okay, so this money comes automatically out of my checking account and into each of these accounts. That way I don't have to worry about it and do that on my own. So under this example, I'd have $65 going into our 529, $35 going into our savings. And that is, again, a good plan here that gives you flexibility, gives you options. Now, under that example, what's neat about the 529 plan is if Layla starts a family, doesn't go to college, I can take her 529 and I can move that money to another beneficiary. So Milo decides to go to college, Layla doesn't, I can take her 529 plan and move it over to his. So, it's not just wasted money or anything. Now, under that event that you have to withdraw money from the 529 and pay for something other than college with that money, what you do is you would have to pay taxes on the investment growth that you had inside that account from the time you opened it. So you would have, some taxes that you'd have to pay if you had to tap into that for something other than college. So ideally, you don't really want to go there and have to do that. Now, what I want to mention at the end here with this is I don't believe in just handing over a large amount of money to my kids when they turn 18. That's not what this plan is for. I don't want to just cut them a huge check and say, hey, I've saved up for you. Here's 10 grand or 20 grand. Have fun. That's going to probably ruin most 18-year-olds' lives if you do that. They're not going to know how to handle that. That money's going to be gone within a year or two with most 18-year-olds. But there are smart and strategic ways that we can support our children, that we can help encourage good behavior, good decisions. So, let's say Layla and her new husband want to buy a house. Maybe I go to them and I say, hey, if you guys can save up $10,000 for a down payment, I will match that and put in $10,000 and we can double that down payment. Or I can go to my kids in college and say, hey, if you show me a report card, I will give you, show me your grades each semester, I'll give you X amount of dollars per A grade that you get, X amount per B grade, X amount per C grade. And it's a good creative way to gift them some funds and help support them. And that way, it encourages them to take their schooling responsibly, to take it seriously. So that's the plan. Parents that want to save for their kids, this is great. It's worked for me. I set these 4 accounts up the first week my kids were born. So as soon as I had that Social Security number, I set up the 529, I set up the regular savings. To set up the 529, each state has their own 529 plan that they sponsor. So I'm a resident of Utah. Utah has a terrific 529 plan that they sponsor. You go to my529.org is their website, and that's where you can open an account online. It's pretty easy to just go in there, open that account. Every state should have a 529. You can go there and read more about the 529, how it works, what are some of the benefits. This is just a quick overview. I hope this has been helpful for you parents that have similar goals as I do and want to be able to help support your children. Hit me up if you have any questions, comments, ideas. Would love to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that red subscribe button. And thank you, everyone. We'll talk to you later.